Everyone, welcome to today's video. Welcome to the Gamer Dad channel. Thank you very much for tuning in. So today we continue with the adventures in the Dark Zone, and what I'm going to be doing is breaking down these different incidences. We'll talk about specific scenarios, and in many cases we'll talk about builds or just kind of the dynamics of this open sandbox area that is really at the crux of a lot of the conversation in the Division 2. So the other day, myself and fellow content creator Mr. Monkey Meat were running in the Dark Zone, and he was actually introducing me to his favorite build. It's a striker build, which I'll be bringing a video on because he told me to tell you guys about it, and just stay tuned. We'll talk about it here, hopefully in the next few days. Well, we ran into someone who's a rogue agent, and I thought, you know what, why not test the build? Because this guy is basically intimidating somebody else, right? And so we're just basically going on, we're doing our thing and trying to get this guy, because we both have a similar version of the build. His is better and more refined. Mine was slap the 4 pieces of the striker together and let's see what happens. And we encountered this agent who went rogue, and one of the crazy thing was I did not know exactly what this agent was actually running in terms of a build, so I'm there like thinking, okay, we're gonna probably just go for it. Next thing you know, they put foam on me, whip out a pistol, and melt me. And so I thought to myself, no, you did not just melt me with a pistol. This ain't gonna fly. So I inspected their build real quick, and to my own shock, they were using this Regulus build, and it has a lot of armor. Obviously, 5 rolls of armor. It's got the Imperial Dynasty holster, and I'm guaranteeing you this is the knee pads, the Emperor's Guard knee pads. They're using also the hazard protection pair of gloves from the Y'all brand set, Matador backpack with the Cheska and a Cheska mask, and then they're also using the Hildegard with possibly the perfect Vanguard. And I said to myself, man, this is some interesting build in the way that this person is able to use it. Now also they have themselves a M870 Express max rolled within sync, and then also a FAMAS within sync as well. This is a huge thing that a lot of players are doing. The InSync is very good apparently in PvP, which I've talked about it being a talent that's shown up in a lot of the builds in the Dark Zone, especially from my observation on PlayStation. But this is a PC player as well, so builds are probably different, wonky. People are doing all kinds of weird stuff in the Dark Zone too. I've seen some of my clan mates use some really weird builds. Red, you know yourself, you're using all these kind of weird crap, and it works, which is crazy. But I said to myself, all right, let's go. Let me see what's going on here. And I looked at the build and I was quite surprised. I was like, this is insane. This build had me worried. But one thing about this player is they were emphasizing the headshot damage, and we know the Regulus is a very powerful weapon. So in using it that way, I thought, man, this is crazy. Well, let me go ahead and let me switch up. Let me see what this guy's all about. So I went back in there, and I think as I was leaving, I said, no, I'm going to go back and switch up my build to my, DZ build. It's not the best, but it does use my Eagle Bearer. So I went ahead and swapped that build up. And I went in there. I think it's like an armor regen build. It doesn't do a lot of damage in PvP, but it keeps me alive much longer because I saw this guy. He's staying alive long. That's basically his premise. So we just have to keep wearing him down. So me, Mr. Monkey Me, and that agent that he took down, we went back after this guy and another agent. There were like 4 of us, man. This guy was giving troubles. That's one thing about some of these, nerds that we have on PC. And I was telling another content creator as well. I said, some of us that play on PC, we know that there are a lot of, nerds out here, and they do some weird stuff that actually does work. And so we're chasing him down. We eventually, find a way to catch him in a little corner, and he wants to basically funnel us in this little playground area where he and I were just, lobbing grenades back and forth, and I'm in the forefront because I do have, enough armor to be able to go after him as well. Other guys wanted to stay back a little bit, just, but me, I'm using myself as kind of a distraction and a decoy, seeing if I can wear him down a little bit. Now, it's all crazy. Forgive the camera moves. That's one thing about a mouse. You can turn instantly and all that stuff. And this is why I suck on console when I'm playing the PvP. But on PC, I'm okay, decent, whatever. So I'm just piling on him, and everybody else is piling on him because, I'm basically going face to face with him, and we eventually take him down. So what's the interesting thing about this build? This build is using an exotic that is a, raid exclusive for the most part. And, that's one thing about this game, too, when you're talking about the dynamics of the game. Now, I do have the Regulus, but I have it on my PC account, my PlayStation account. Shout out to the LCN clan. If you want to do a raid, I'll leave a link in the comment section for a Discord channel. even if you're in Europe servers or wherever it is, go into the server and ask for raid help. Somebody will be happy to help you. We'll schedule a raid for you, and you'll be able to run a raid. And if possible, if somebody gets the raid exclusive weapon and you are up on the list, they will drop it for you. Okay? So that being said, let's move on. Now, I decided that I was going to go ahead and do a little bit more digging as to this player's playstyle. I mean, I know you shot me with the regular, so I'm going to inspect your build, Mr. Scriptural. No, I mean, I hope you don't mind. And even if you do mind, I don't care. And so I went into the Division game. And here on PC, we have the inspect functionality. I can inspect anybody that's actually a player. So I'm going to inspect this build right here. And as of the last time I inspected his build, he was using another build that was not necessarily this one that's here. So Mr. Scriptural loves headshot damage. So let's go ahead and look at his combination. I mean, it carries similar elements, you know, to what many people are building with, because just the Contractor's gloves and the Fox's Spirit knee pads, they're just the best in slot for running PvP at this point. So he basically has, you know, his Fox's Spirit knee pad have headshot damage. His Matador backpack has headshot damage. I mean, you're starting to see the theme right now, huh? And then if you even go back to it, you're going to see that his mask has got headshot damage. You're going to look at his chest piece, has got headshot damage. You're also going to look at his holster, which is a Fenris holster. It's got headshot damage as well. And so you do see the theme that he's trying to leverage a lot of this headshot damage with the, you know, the headshot damage that comes from the Eagle Bearer. Now, contrary to the last video that I made where I talked about how a lot of the agents that are using, that are making builds on PC, they usually on PlayStation or maybe even console at large, they'll prioritize a lot of the crit builds. Here on PC, I've noticed, and this is a stereotype anyways, but I have noticed that a lot of people will prioritize both the crits and also the headshot damage. This is definitely something that, you know, allows for you to be more effective. Yes, granted, a mouse and a keyboard allows for you to be able to do that headshot damage thing slightly more easier to a target that may be strafing or moving all over the place. In fact, if you notice here, which I was even shocked by myself when he and I were going at it when we went face to face, I was basically lighting him up as close as possible to his head. That's what I wanted. I wanted just his head. And I was able to get in a few headshots. Even though I wasn't even specs to headshot damage, it just is a thing where you have the capability to beam. Now, some of y'all console players, I'm not going to take away your, you know, credibility from you, because I've seen y'all and I've played against y'all, and some of you are headshot beamers on console as well. I'm not saying that's an exclusive thing to just PC. I'm just saying it's a little bit more common on that front. So don't get me wrong and say, oh, I'm not saying that PC players are, you know, better than console players. No, I mean, already you've seen that the control scheme here on PC is different in terms of the way the cameras are much more fluid. I mean, if you notice, the way we're able to flip and turn and just, you know, dash into a different angle is a little, in my opinion anyways, suited for being able to evade. If you're in a PvP situation, you're able to just basically make an easier maneuver. Unlike when I'm using a controller, man, it is rough, man. I mean, no doubt. But, you know, it's just something that I wanted to make sure that I highlighted. So, Mr. Scriptural, thank you so much for being the subject of the discussion today. I really appreciate you. I don't even know who this agent is. You know, I guess maybe I should send you a friend request, but your build is quite solid. And even your regulars build was actually very interesting to me. I think I might adopt it at some point, maybe to play in PvE, but I don't know if I have enough skill to be able to drop something like that in PvP. But coming soon, I'll be showing you guys the build that Mr. Monkey Meat recommended. It's a striker build, and we are calling it a very interesting name. So stay tuned for that video if you really want to catch that content. I appreciate you guys for watching this video. Comment below as to what you think about the initial build that I showed you guys and how you think the paradigm changes between console and PC if you play on both platforms, or even if you don't and you have a perception of what they may be playing like. I'd love to hear in the comment section. Thanks so much for watching. Peace out.